also a pastor, and when I was in college, I was actually in pre-med. The problem with being in pre-med is we'd watch these videos on all these things that happen in the human body, and I'd start to feel all the symptoms every time I watched the video. I think I'm having a heart attack right now. So while I was listening to these two stories, my legs started hurting and other things. But I will share a little bit of just where I was when I came in this office. Kind of interesting. I had a skiing accident that goes back to my early 20s, and from that point, my neck seemed like it was chronically sore, and I'd probably been to 6 or 7 different chiropractors that they would adjust me, but it was only a couple of weeks later that I'd feel the same symptoms, the pain, and my wife, who had been to other chiropractors, we would go, and it just seemed like things never really ended up getting better. And then somewhere around the middle of summer this year, just dealing with the pain, headaches that would occasionally happen. My story, by the way, is not as extreme as theirs, but I'll tell you this, that I was playing tennis with my son, and I have 3 teenagers, a 16-year-old, a 14-year-old, and now one's 17, but a 17, 14, and a 12-year-old. And when I was playing tennis with my 14-year-old, all of a sudden something in my back just, like, I could feel it pop. And all of a sudden I started walking that it just felt like there was pain constant all the time. To the point I couldn't even really go on a walk because it wasn't like I was crippled, but the pain just wasn't worth the walk kind of thing. And so I wouldn't go on walks. I couldn't run anymore in the mornings, something I'd love to do. And so in the end, I don't even know how we ended up. I mean, I've known Dr. Dan for a number of years, and never really had been treated by him, and so it turned out that at this point I think something, because I was just trying to cover it up. I wasn't seeking really help at all. I was just sort of like, well, maybe it'll go away. I don't know if anyone's ever, but maybe it'll just go away. How long can this last? Well, it lasted more than a month, and then I think we were doing something together related to church, and he said, Brett, you have to come see me. I was describing it. You have to come down. Come down, and let me take a look at you. Well, he took these x-rays of my neck, and I got to be honest, like my neck looked kind of like the one that you saw in there. That wasn't the worst, but I was heading that way. And it kind of freaked me out a little bit. Like, where are we going with this? Like, what's going to happen with this? And he said, well, left untreated, I mean, it's just going to get worse. It's not going to get better. And I started thinking of how chronic this has been for such a long time. And really that was when we decided, like, I need to fix it. I need to take care of it. Well, just the first adjustment seemed like it helped, I mean, amazing. Like, just right there, the back stopped hurting after one visit down to my low back. I could walk up hills, I could go on my walks, I could run, I started running again, and it felt really good. But what surprised me was how precise he is as a chiropractor with my neck adjustments. He's kind of like a samurai, or just like, and I say that because I've never had a chiropractor be that precise with some of the adjustments in my neck. They're very quick. In fact, he always says to me, okay, go ahead and sit up, and he kind of helps me, And I'm like, why do you help me? I can sit up on my own. He said, because I think you're probably pretty dizzy right this second. And the truth is, there have been a couple, because the adjustments have been so severe in my neck that I was a little bit dizzy like that. But this is what I know. I have so much less pain than I had. It has almost been eradicated in so many areas. I mean, what I appreciate is the fact that you did mention something early on, and what he said was we have to fix the problem, not just remove the pain. And that's something I appreciated, because almost every chiropractor I'd been to before was very quick to just say, well, see ya, you're fixed, go ahead and just call me whenever it starts hurting again. And I really appreciate the fact that he took the time to say, listen, you've got to teach these muscles. They've got to learn new things, because they just slide back into these old patterns, and that had been my story. And so finally, a chiropractor who was willing to address it, saying, unless I see you repeatedly, it's not going to change. We're just going to be here every 3 or 4 weeks. We'll just see you again and again and again. And so I have already improved. I mean, it's hard. You can't even measure, right? There's no way to say, oh, I'm 100% better, whatever. All I know is that I have very little pain left, and we're removing all of it. So, thank you. He's pretty funny too. He comes in and he tries to joke around with me. He tries to make me feel comfortable, but I don't buy any of it. I don't. That's right. His bedside manner